Alright, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, another update from Nick Walker, just days out from the show. He's in Columbus. This is what used to be, it used to be a powerhouse gym in Columbus, so he's actually there in Columbus in this update. So he can't be more than a few days out. And they don't really show you a straight-on shot of him posing in this video, but the lighting is good. He looks crazy from whatever angle you can see him from the side, from the back. He really does look freaky. He really does look dialed in. You can see how crazy round and full his arms are while still being what looks like very tight and very lean, but still looking very full, and that mutant 3D effect that he's got. This is why I like Nick Walker so much. It's because you see all these updates, you see the detail that he's bringing, you see that he's leaner than ever. You saw these updates where he's looking depleted, he's looking diced, then you see this update just a couple days out, and he's got those wacky 3D cartoonish delts and triceps, and he just looks insane. And just like another competitor that we're going to talk about later in this video, Kalecinski, Nick Walker, in his latest podcast, he was talking about this Arnold Classic prep, and he says in that podcast, the Mutant in the Mouth podcast, he says this is the hardest prep that he's ever had. He says, I'm going to have a great time. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to stepping on stage again. But he went on to say, I'll be honest, man, these last 2 to 3 weeks have probably been the hardest I've ever been through, just going to speak honestly, because I think everyone should understand that I'm human, and as much as I preach and as confident as I truly am in myself, and I always think I can win, I just think everybody has a point where they kind of break sometimes. It has happened over the past couple of weeks. I've wanted to give up a few times because it did get really hard mentally, but it's fine because this is what it takes, so I accept it. And I think that suffering that Nick is talking about is really reflected in the updates that we've seen from him. I really think that he looks the leanest that we've seen him look. I think he looks much better than we saw him look at this point in his Olympia prep. I think we're going to see a tighter, a drier, a harder, more detailed version of Nick at the Arnold than we saw at the Olympia, and I think it's going to be his best physique to date. And honestly, I think he's going to win the show. Now, next up in the news, Kalecinski. We got some more updates from the first being an update that he posted on his story where he's hitting a side chest. is also now in Columbus. It looks like he's staying in an Airbnb, not staying in the actual hotel, the Hilton down there. But in this update, you can see the side chest, like I said. But you get a better update from which was posted on the Rep 1 YouTube channel. And this update is closer to the show, just a few days out, and I think in this update you actually do get a clearer picture of how is looking than the other update that we were talking about in the last video. You really get to see a pretty comprehensive look at his physique here. And honestly, I think he looks really good. I think, like I said, it's no secret that I think this competition is going to be between and Ramon. I think, again, it's really going to come down to size, because that's the biggest difference that I notice between and Ramon. Ramon really stepped it up this year as far as improvements, and I think he really looked noticeably bigger than at this year's Olympia. And when Ramon was in that top 2 call-out with Chris, and I think Chris Bumstead is the biggest guy in classic physique right now, he held his own in terms of size. So I think the reason why I think we're seeing a more full version of right now is because has to compete a little bit with Ramon from the size standpoint. I really do think Ramon outsizes in certain poses, and I think that's the biggest adjustment that is trying to make to combat that. Because again, while we're seeing have that trademark conditioning and look super lean in these updates, I don't think he looks as depleted and as flat as he usually does in some of these updates right up close to the show. I think he looks fuller. He looks more carved up. And I think the reason for that is he knows what Ramon's strong point against him is. So the real question is, will this strategy be enough for him to bring down Ramon? And Ramon is also in Columbus, but we haven't yet seen an update from Ramon actually being in Columbus. We're really only seeing stuff from so that's why we're mostly talking about right now, because he's been posting a lot of stuff. But at the same time, I don't think it's like is dramatically sacrificing his conditioning. You can see in this update, he's still got really striated glutes, vascularity, striations all throughout the upper body, the pecs, the shoulders. He still looks super lean. I just think we've seen him look more depleted in other updates. I think he is maybe carving up a little bit, maybe trying to fill out a little bit more than he has in the past. Now, next up in the news, the latest update from Justin Rodriguez, a guy we haven't really talked as much about during this Arnold Classic build-up. He does say this will be his final prep of 2023, and he's going to be bringing his best this prep. And honestly, I do really like Justin's physique, and to be completely honest, the last Arnold Classic that he competed at, I felt like was one of his best looks ever. I think after prejudging, he could have been as high as 3rd, but he really faded between prejudging and the night show, and I think that was the best version of his physique that we ever saw. Now, whether or not he's going to bring something comparable to that this year remains to be seen. I think a lot of people agree, and I think Justin agrees based on this being his last prep, that his physique just seems tired. It seems like he needs to give himself a break to go back to the drawing board, start over, and just take a break from competing because he competes so frequently. It seems like he does a show every couple of months, sometimes like 3 or 4 shows in a month. And his placings just don't seem to be improving. So the question will be, I think, did his body get enough of a break between the Olympia and now to bring something really impressive at the Arnold Classic? I don't think he's a guy that we can completely write off because, like I said, I do really like his physique. But I really feel like his physique has just faded from show to show to show the more frequently he's been competing, and he hasn't really taken that extended break that I think he knows he needs. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think Justin has a shot at a high placing at the Arnold Classic this year? Do you think he's going to be a factor or completely outside of the conversation? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know your classic physique Arnold Classic predictions in the comments down below. Now, next up in the news, Hunter Labrada revealing his competition plans for the rest of the year. Well, really, his dad, Lee Labrada, revealed these on the Menace podcast with Dennis James. So apparently he's going to be doing Tampa and Texas this year. He says, very excited to go back to where my pro career started and to compete in my home state, which is Texas, for the first time as a pro. Then he also posted a physique update right after posting this story with the caption, half natty lighting versus normal check-in lighting. So we know that Hunter Labrada at one point watched some Matt Ogus videos. He also says he's weighing 279 to 280 fasted in this update. And look, I'm optimistic that we're going to see some Hunter Labrada redemption. Obviously, we didn't see the best version of Hunter at the Olympia this year. That goes without saying. I think most people would agree. Not the best package from Hunter. That's why he dropped so significantly in placings. I think a lot of people agree the midsection was part of that. I think the reason for that is Hunter put on some size for this year's Olympia and at the expense of his waist, I think. And I really think we've got to be careful not to write a bodybuilder off just because of one bad placing, because oftentimes these guys, they can slip in placings and turn around and win the next show they compete at and look fantastic. So what do you guys think? Are we going to see Hunter redeem himself? He's got to qualify for the Olympia, but if he does qualify, which I'm going to assume he will, do you think he's going to place higher than he did in 2022 at the 2023 Mr. Olympia? Now, next up in the news, we also got a little bit further confirmation from Keone about his plans of switching to open bodybuilding. He says, the question says, do you want to win 212 and then do open, or will you switch to open when you feel like it? And he answers the question, says, I will do open after I win the 212 Olympia a few times. So he has hinted before and directly said he wants to go to open eventually, but this is pretty much confirmation of that here on his story. And look, like I've been saying, I see absolutely no reason why he should not do that and why he could not be successful as an open bodybuilder. We've seen 212 bodybuilders time after time after time switch to open, win an open show, and then do very well in the Open Olympia. I see no reason why Keone would not be able to do that, and honestly, I do think that Keone has a real shot at winning the 212 Olympia. I still believe that. I really do. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Does Keone have a shot at winning the 212 Olympia, and how do you think he will fare in open bodybuilding if he does decide to actually make that switch? Now, the final story that I've got for you guys today, I'm going to make this very brief. Liver King, in his latest update, claims he is now 54 days natty AF. So after being exposed by Derek from More Plates, More Dates for taking all these compounds, all these PEDs, when he said he was completely drug-free, then he came clean. And then after that, he said, to come clean and to be more honest, he wants to actually go natural and be natural from here on out. And what that really means, we're not entirely sure, because based on the amount of gear he was taking, he's probably going to have to be on TRT for the rest of his life. So he's probably on some kind of exogenous testosterone. How high of a dose, we have no idea. But the question is, do you guys believe he's on anything besides that? Do you think he really dropped the growth, the peptides, all the other crap he was taking? And I actually do believe that. I believe he did drop all that other stuff. But on the other side of that coin, I think that's the reason why he does look downsized. He does look leaner. It's not like he doesn't look impressive. He still looks pretty impressive, but he does look noticeably smaller. And to be honest, I think that's the reason why, if you look at his recent Instagram posts, he's been posting more and more extreme, like table spreads. He's got more dead animals, more skulls, more body parts, more dramatic posts as far as what he's eating and really what he's wasting, because I think it's becoming less and less about his physique, because I really do think he made this change, and I think he subconsciously knows his physique is getting less impressive, and for that reason, he's becoming more and more extreme with the meat that he posts. And that's the biggest thing that I dislike about the direction that he seems to be going now, is now that it's less about his physique, he's wasting more and more meat. Like for Valentine's Day, he had a bouquet of cow hearts. Clearly, they didn't eat all of those. They just threw them away. Another post, he had like a stack of cow skulls cooked on his table. Clearly, he didn't eat all 8 of those skulls or however many there were. It's just wasteful. He's just using these things as props for his videos, maybe eating a little bit of it on camera, but then the rest of it is going where? It's going in the garbage. He's not eating it all. And I eat meat too, don't get me wrong, but this just seems totally wasteful, and I hope he finds a new gimmick. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you use code NSP10 when you buy that Arnold pay-per-view to get it for $45 instead of $60. There's going to be a link in the description box below. And that's a great way to support the channel. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.